Hello, everyone. This is Jexo here. I'm going to be showing how to get to the secret boss in Deltarune Chapter 2. Now, there's not going to be too much commentary in this specific video. I'm just going to get pretty much straight to everything. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go over here to the crash zone. You're going to want to go all the way to the left. Up here. And you're going to enter this door. This door should be unlocked as soon as you get into the mansion. Now, this is Spamton. You met him earlier into the game. Talking to him, you can talk about the deal that you made with him. So basically, those are instructions on what we need to do. The key gen is over here, and what you want to do is you want to wait until the price is low. Ooh, that was 7. That's the lowest price I've ever seen. But you want to wait till the price gets pretty low, like around here, and you can purchase it. Now there is some more information you can glean from him about his backstory and the lore behind him. So let's go ahead and let the dialogue run. Okay, so now we can go ahead and head back to the mansion. Now, since this save file has not done, oops, I'm already here. Since this file got started as soon as I got to the mansion, there is a little bit that I have to go. I'll try to make it quick, though. You're gonna want to go to this path. Oops. Oh, come on. Wow, I got stuck there. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about this. Wow. There we go. Yeah, that should not have been as hard as it was. Okay. So there should be a secret switch in this room, right? And the way you can find the secret switch is if you let this NPC go ahead and walk all the way over here. There's your hint right here. Okay. Before I do, let me go get some. I'm going to buy it. I should have. Okay. And then you're going to want to go back to the trash zone, and check back in with Spamton. Now, if you were to go back into the room, it would be the same. Now, as he said earlier, you're going to want to go back to the room that you were just at, so we can return the loaded disc. This is the point where you should be getting items and, armor and anything to get yourself prepped for this interaction. Obviously, if you want, go ahead and save here. This is Spamton Neo. This plays pretty much kind of like a shmup. If you're familiar with the Metaton Neo fight back in Undertale's Genocide route, this should be you should be a little bit more familiar with the way this will go. You're gonna want to snap all. Snapping all will do 7%, and snapping by yourself would do 2%. I do not recommend you charging shots here. I recommend charge shots. Oh, I healed Susie instead. I completely forgot. Now, Supercharge is lets your charge go faster, and Fluffy Guard gives you a small two little shield orbs around you. Once a face is destroyed, the face will no longer show up. You can go ahead. That'll be a free turn every time that'll come up. That's why I don't recommend it. Return. This is a risk. This is a free turn. Here it is, the super attack. You're gonna want to keep hitting him. He's got 90%. If I survive this, I win. $99%. And with this, you get the equipable item, the Deal Maker. This is an armor item. Fashionable pink and yellow glasses greatly increase dollar gained and question mark. Okay, so now after defeating Spanton, we have a couple places where we can go. First place we can go is over here at the cafe, where we can get some flavor. We can get some extra dialogue about Spanton. The next place you can go is over here in the trash zone. Now, if the term garbage noise might seem familiar to you, if you were to go over here, go to your key items, and use your cell phone, it's nothing but garbage noise. Now, there's one last bit of text that you can get if you were to go back into the mansion. And you need to return to the room that where you initially captured by the queen. And that's the last bit of text that you can get for this super boss. I really like this super boss. I think I prefer Spamton over Jevil, mainly because I think it's a bit more interesting in the way it handles its what do you call it? It handles its gameplay. I think it's a lot more unique and fun. Um, as a character, it's really interesting. So here's the thing. Um, I have a bit of a interesting thought that I was able to get from looking at Spamton and Jevil and all this stuff. So here are my thoughts. Spamton and Jevil both have a yearning for freedom. They want to escape the I guess the cage they feel they're in into some broader outer like level of existence. And this outer level of existence, the implication is that it's not the light world, but it's something beyond that. Mainly because the way Jevil speaks, he mentions that we are stuck in a cage, but he doesn't refer to other Darkners aside from what we presume to be Rouse. He speaks specifically towards Chris and Susie, who we know are Lightners. So there's this like interesting like I said, there's like this interesting like yearning for this freedom. And what I find fascinating is that Chris themselves, if you know anything about his backstory or if any of his the information about Chris, Chris has been acting very strange. And this is info that you can get from chapter 1 and even a little bit more from chapter 2. In chapter 1, you can get a lot of like flavor text or a lot of like interesting dialogue about how Chris usually acts when we're not playing as Chris. Chris is really good at the piano. Chris is kind of mischievous, but overall a pretty good kid. Uh, but it gets really interesting when, for example, if you were to go to the hospital, and you were to attempt to play the piano, Chris doesn't know how to play the piano. It just does really bad, like a piano key, right? And if you were to take Susie in chapter 2 to that same piano, she will mention that Chris seems visibly upset that they can't play the piano, right? And in a sense it makes in a way it makes sense, right? Chris knows how to play the piano, but we the player do not. And that's where things get a little interesting, right? The idea that Chris is not being Chris, but we're being Chris, if that makes sense, right? We're controlling Chris's actions. And so that seems odd to everyone around Chris, right? And so tying it back to Spamton, right? Spamton is a literal puppet, right? Spamton is like this puppet figure who wants this freedom. And I find it interesting that Chris has this very, very strong reaction to the Spamton fight. All right, we saw earlier how if you were to say no, Susie would or yeah, if you were to mention no, um, there's some text about how Chris is screaming or something like that. If you were to choose the yes option, it still implies that Chris feels very uncomfortable about what happened. And this is what I find really interesting. These are the connections that I can make, right? What I believe is the reason why Chris feels very uncomfortable by this whole fight is because Chris potentially feels the same way as Spampton did. What do I mean by that? Well, Chris is not in control of what they're doing at the moment. We are in control of Chris, right? How would it feel like if somebody else was controlling your actions, making you act nice or making you act mean or anything, right? It's stressful. It's downright terrifying, right? So the realization that Chris uh, isn't feeling, or like the realization that Chris like is like physically upset at what happened to Spampton because they can relate to what happened. It makes this whole thing really interesting. Now, I don't know the if this is completely meta-contextual, if it really is Chris like being upset because we the player are controlling them, or there's some other third party controlling them. I don't really know. What I find really interesting is that in the end of chapter one, when Chris takes the heart out and throws into the cage, right, and we can control it, right, the implication is that we, the player, that is our heart implanted into Chris, right? But what I find strange is that the Chris that doesn't have that heart in them, right, is violent and acting in ways that we know from the texts that the original Chris, the one we don't control, it doesn't really act this way. So that begs the question: who is that Chris? Who is the Chris we control? Are we that Chris? Are we that heart? It's a lot of questions that need to be asked, right? Um, and there's plenty of other interesting questions that can be gleaned from this whole chapter. Um, and For example, there's the weird route or the snow grave route that unfortunately I won't go over, right? But let's just say it gets a bit it's really dark, and there's a bit more implications about player player control and Chris's overall uh, uh, awareness or stuff like that. Uh, and there's other things that I can talk about, like how I personally don't think that Deltarune is going to have a happy ending. From a lot of what is being said, or from a lot of the implications that I get from these two chapters, I don't think there's a bright future at the end of this game when it gets released. Um, if I may go further into my thoughts in the theory I have about what the end of the game may have in store for us, but with all the information that I know and all the little extra tidbits and everything, I don't think it looks really good. I don't think the future is bright for these uh, three individuals and potentially everyone, right? But at the moment, I think that'll be it for today. Thank you so much for watching this, I guess, little tutorial slash playthrough of finding the Superboss in Deltarune Chapter 2. Uh, like I said, I don't know if I'll do a theory video or anything on it. If anybody's interested, please let me know. That'll be it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.